Hey guys, it's Derek back with another episode of Small Business Social Secrets, and we have Justin Levy with us. Justin runs social media for Citrix Online. How you doing, Justin?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. So we're here at SobCon in Chicago, and we have followed each other online for a while, and thought I'd sit down with you since you have a product that could actually maybe help our customer base, because you want to just give a little background on both yourself and Citrix?
Yep. So my name is Justin Levy, and I oversee global social media for Citrix Online. We're the makers of products like GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, GoToTraining, GoToAssist, and all the other
all the other go-tos.
All the other go-to products that allow you to work and live and play better. And so they allow you to connect with people from across the world, distributed teams, and enable communications without being face to face necessarily.
Okay, so we wanted to just talk with you a little bit about, you obviously have a lot of social knowledge. You've been doing this on both the agency side and the corporate side for a while, and we're trying to come up with ideas and maybe talk about platforms that might be of use to a small business. Outside of, obviously the GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar and GoToAssist products, if we're talking about just social, what would be your advice that you would give to someone just starting out a nonprofit or a small business?
I think one of the best things that they can do is blog. I mean, beyond securing your handles, so whatever your brand name is, securing it across the multiple social media channels so that when you're ready to launch on those channels, you have your brand name. Secure your names even if you're not ready to launch on Google Plus or Pinterest, or you're trying to figure out if Facebook is right for you. But blogging is one of the biggest things that you can do to drive traffic back to your website. It'll help you in your search rankings, especially if you're a new business. That's going to be very hard to rank for the terms that you want to rank for, to rank higher than your competitors. It'll help you develop thought leadership. It'll help provide a humanized touch to whatever business you're in, especially if you're in a business that tends not to be humanized, if you sell a product or something like that, or if you have a community, you're serving a local community or something of that nature. So blogging is by far one of my top recommendations, and then also set up a free listening station for yourself. So Google Alerts for yourself, any of your executives potentially, or key team members, your competitors in your industry, and as well as anything maybe that's pertinent to you, whether it's a local community event terms or things of that nature, because that'll help you to stay on top of what's going on in your industry with yourself and your competitors, so that you can also respond in a timely manner.
Okay, and going back to blogging, a lot of these people might be obviously a little terrified of blogging because it's, it takes some skill to actually write. What would you say about maybe video blogging, like what we're doing right here?
I think video blogs are great. One of the forays into social for me was helping to run a Argentinian steakhouse back in Massachusetts, and it was my best friend had taken over from being an executive chef to owner of the restaurant. He needed some help on the marketing side. I came in to help out to leverage social tools for the business as part of the marketing plan, being a small business in a local community without a large budget, and actually needed to generate sales because the business was losing significant amount of money per month because it just wasn't getting the foot traffic. And that's the exact thing that we turned to. We wrote text-based blog posts as well that were recipes or how-tos, but what we really did was benefited from doing video blogs where my partner Joe would stand there and explain some process, so to bring the community closer to the chef and closer to the kitchen, which is very popular because of the kind of foodie revolution and everything that the Food Network has helped to drive over the past decade or so. But the people could see how to roast onions at their home, for example, or how to unzip a tomato and what that actually means, or how to fabricate a side of beef for dinner at their house, or how we do it at least in the restaurant. So then if they were local and they came into the restaurant, they had a bit more knowledge about the food that they were eating.
Right.
And we saw that the video blogs, though short, they weren't highly edited, they were kind of grainy, they were done on sometimes cheap cameras. That resonated with that audience, and that is what that spread far and wide from people in the local community watching it and then being customers, people that were going to culinary institutes would watch it. We ended up finding out that people would come back and comment that they missed a class at their culinary institute, and so that they watched our video to catch up on that class. So video blogs can be great because you can set up a camera. It doesn't have to be an expensive high-end camera.
Right.
It can be a cheap camera. You could use your iPhone, you could use anything, and just create the content.
Right.
And work at it and evolve it. And
because it'll obviously get better over time, but
as you get more comfortable on camera, as you get more comfortable with a tool set or the features of how to edit this or tweak that or move that, you'll get used to it and you'll improve, and you might, if you really get into it, you might upgrade your camera at that point, or upgrade the software that you use for editing or what have you. But video blogs can be great, and they're easy for people. You can shoot off a 5-minute video very quickly and upload it directly to YouTube.
Okay, since we have just a couple more minutes, let's talk about the products from Citrix. I've obviously used GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar for a big portion of my career. What would you say the value of that to a small business? Say someone that is 5-10 people. What can that do to a company?
It can help revolutionize the company and help them to grow, because if you take a product like GoToMeeting, for example, we integrated what we call HD Faces, which is high definition video conferencing, into the product for up to 6 video streams. So what you're able to do is hold face-to-face video chats in high def. So this isn't a grainy connection. Obviously it depends on a few things, your computer speed and your Wi-Fi connection or your hardline connection, some of these other dependencies, but you're able to connect with your team no matter where they are. So where you would usually be dependent on that 5 or 10 person team to be local and to be where you needed them to be, in your local town and come into your office, nowadays that team could be spread across the country. A design team that I do a lot of work with, they have one of their co-founders, they've never even met face to face because he lives out in the Philippines.
Right.
He's one of the 3 co-founders of this design firm. They've never met him face to face because they've always connected first with GoToMeeting before we had the video conference and technology added in. Now they're able to do video conference every day with each other to stay on top of their projects. Right. So it just allows a business to extend their capabilities with distributed teams.
And not be limited to
a location or to an office, which can lower their expenses, which can help the business profit more and drive productivity. So the tools allow you to do those things. And then if you look at a tool like GoToWebinar, it allows a business, depending on what the products are that you sell or what the services that you offer, to generate leads for the business and to help market the business. So GoToWebinar for a lot of our customers is a key component of their marketing plans because they run webinars on a regular basis to generate leads to then help sell their consultant services or their products.
Well, I just thought since we had you here, it's not a social product, but I think it's a great product that could help a lot of it. So how do we find you, Justin, if someone wants to follow you and maybe ask you for some advice after the fact?
So you can find me basically anywhere on the web at Justin Levy, JustinLevy, and Citrix, depending on which product you're looking for. We have a variety of social handles for GoToMeeting, at GoToMeeting, or at GoToWebinar, at Citrix, and at Citrix Online across the web.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Justin.
Thanks, Mike.